Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Annisa Ramadhani. I am from International Accounting Department 2016 of Andalas University. First of all, I would like to say thank you to my thesis advisor, Dr. Amsal Djunid, M.Bus, who really helped me in completing this thesis. And also thank you for the opportunity that has given to me to present my thesis with the title Financial Performance Analysis based on EVA and MVA Methods at Telecommunication Sector Company in Indonesia. Also, thanks to my friends who watched this video. I hope this video will be useful for you. Next, in this presentation, there are 5 discussions. First, introduction. Second, literature review. Third, research methodology. Fourth, result and analysis. And the last is conclusion. Okay, first, we are going to talk about Chapter 1, Introduction. In Chapter 1, it consists of research background, research question, research objective, research benefit, and writing systematic. Okay, research background. Why I conducted research using this title is because first, the telecommunication sector. Nowadays, technological sophistication is developing rapidly, especially in the telecommunication sector. The telecommunication sector plays an important role in information dissemination. This makes the Telecommunication Sector Company very important, especially in Indonesia, because Indonesia has many separate islands. So, this makes telecommunications company competing to create services and technology at competitive prices to their customers. To be able to compete optimally in a challenging market, each telecommunication company is required to have a superior product in order to improve the company's financial report performance. And next, investors. Before investors want to invest their money to a company, they need to know whether the company is good or not. And the question is, how is the investors know whether the company is good or not? So basically, investors can see it from financial performance of a company. There are so many resources use ratio analysis approaches in measure the financial performance. Performance measurement using ratio analysis approaches, which are liquidity ratios, solvency ratios, profitability ratios, and activity ratios, has some weaknesses. In its operations, it uses historical data and doesn't pay attention to the level of investment risk associated with the cost of capital that must be borne by the owner of the capital itself. Measurements that are only done by analyzing financial statements have a major weakness, that is, ignoring the existence of capital costs. So it's difficult for investors to know whether the company has created value or not. So, based on this research background, I choose to use another method to measure the company's financial performance, which are economic value added or EVA and market value added or MVA method. Next, resource question and objective. Based on the background of this thesis, then the central question in this research asks how is the financial performance of PT Telekomunikasi Indonesia and PT Axiata measured using economic value added or EVA and market value added or MVA approach. Part of the aim of this research is to measure the financial performance of PT Telekomunikasi Indonesia and PT Axiata using economic value added or EVA and market value added or MVA approaches. Okay, next, research benefit. So in this research, it gives a benefit for academics, for investors, and for further researchers. First, for benefit for academics. Results from this study are expected to give their views and insight into the comparison of financial performance in the telecommunication sector company in Indonesia. And the second benefit for investors. This research is expected to be used as material for consideration and illustration for investors in financial analysis and decisions in investing in telecommunication sector companies in Indonesia. And the last benefit for further research. This research as a source of reference and information to allow subsequent studies concerning discussion comparison of financial performance. And the last topic in Chapter 1, Writing Systematic. In this thesis, there are 5 chapters. Chapter 1 is Introduction. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Chapter 3, Research Methodology. Chapter 4, Result and Analysis. And Chapter 5, Conclusion. So, next, we jump to the Chapter 2, Literature Review. In Chapter 2, consists of measurements of financial performance, economic value added or EVA method, market value added or MVA method, and previous research. First, we're going to talk about measurement of financial performance. Financial performance analysis is a critical review process of reviewing data, calculating, measuring, interpreting, and providing solutions to the company's finance in a certain period. Performance measurement is used by companies to make improvements over their operational activities in order to compete with other companies. So, in this thesis, I choose to use an economic value added method and market value added method to measure the financial performance. Next, we're gonna talk about economic value added or EVA method. So, economic value added shows a good measure of the extent to which a company has added value to its shareholders. In other words, if managers focus on EVA, this will help them make financial decisions that are consistent with the aim of maximizing shareholders' wealth. In this thesis, there are 7 steps in calculating EVA. First, calculating cost of debt. Second, calculating cost of equity. Third, calculating capital structure from the balance sheet. Fourth, calculating weighted average cost of capital. Next, calculating net operating after tax or NOPAT. then calculating invested capital, and finally calculating economic value added or EVA. So after I calculate the EVA, I get the result. What is the meaning of the calculation result? So, meaning of calculation result of EVA method is if the value of EVA greater than 0, then this indicates that there has been an economic added value for the company. However, if the value of EVA less than 0, this indicates that there is no added economic value for the company. And if the value of EVA equal to 0, then this indicates a break-even position for the company because profit has been used to pay obligation to funders, both creditors and shareholders. Next, we're gonna talk about market value added or MVA method. So, market value added is the difference between the market value of equity and the book value of equity. To maximize shareholder wealth, the company is required to maximize the difference between the market value of the company's shares and the amount of equity capital transferred to the company by the shareholders. So after I calculate the market value added, I get the result. So the meaning of calculation result of MVA method is a positive MVA shows that the company's management has been able to increase the company's wealth and shareholders. Or it can be said that the company's performance is good. However, a negative market value added shows that the management is unable or has reduced the company's wealth and shareholders. Or it can be said that the company's performance is not good. Next, previous research. So there are 4 previous research. First by Gulo and Ermawati at 2011, and then by Suharsana and Minarno at 2014, and then by Arini at 2015, and by Sylvia Yulianeu, Edward, and Paramita at 2017. Okay, we are going to talk about chapter 3, research methodology. In this chapter 3 consists of research design, method of collecting data, population and sampling, and method of data analysis. Okay. First, research design in this thesis. In this thesis, it used quantitative research design and using secondary data. Second, method of collecting data. The data collection is done by documentation of sources used. So the sources used in this thesis are annual report from the companies, and then risk-free interest rate recorded at Bank Indonesia, also common stock prices and composite stock prices index or CSPI. Third, population and sampling. The sampling method was used purposive sampling. So the sample criteria used in this research are first, listed company in Indonesia Stock Exchange during 2016 to 2019 period. Second, companies Indonesia included in the LQ45 company list for the 2016 to 2019 period. And the last criteria used in this research, the companies come from the Telecommunication Sector Company. And the last method of data analysis. The data obtained is then processed to evaluate financial performance by calculating the economic value added and market value added, or MVA. So method of data analysis in this thesis is quantitative descriptive method, which is an analysis of data. Next, we are going to talk about chapter 4, result and analysis. It consists of results of calculation economic value added, or EVA, and results of calculation of market value added, or MVA. First, we are going to talk about result of calculation economic value added, or EVA. So, as we can see in this table, at PT Telekomunikasi Indonesia, the value of EVA is always positive, even though it fluctuates. This happens because the NOPAT value is greater than the value of the capital charge. While at PT XL Axiata, the value of EVA tends to be negative in the 2016 to 2019 period, except in 2017. This happened because the value of NOPAT is less than the value of the capital charge. Next, result of calculation of market value added, or MVA. So, as we can see from the table of results of calculation of market value added, or MVA, both company, PT Telekomunikasi Indonesia and PT XL Axiata, have positive value of market value added, or MVA, even though it fluctuates. This happened because the value of market value of equity is greater than the book value of equity. Finally, we are going to talk about chapter 5, conclusion. It consists of conclusion and suggestion. So, based on the results in the chapter 4, I can make a conclusion of this thesis, in this thesis. So the first conclusion of my thesis is, at PT Telekomunikasi Indonesia, the value of EVA in the 2016 to 2019 period is always positive, which indicates that the company has been able to create added value for the company, and also indicates that the performance of the management is skilled in managing the company's capital so that the investment is more valuable and has favorable prospect in the future. The second conclusion of my thesis is PT XL Axiata generally failed to create added value for the company during the 2019 to 2006, during the 2016 to 2019 period, except in 2017. This can be seen from the negative EVA value in 2016, 2018, and 2019. So, I can conclude that PT XL Axiata is only able to create value added for the company in 2017. And the last conclusion of my thesis is the results of the analysis of company performance using the market value added, or MVA method for the 2016 to 2019 period shows that the management of both companies, PT Telekomunikasi Indonesia and PT XL Axiata, has been able to maximize the wealth of shareholders. Okay, and the suggestion. The first suggestion is the result of the analysis using the EVA and MVA methods can be used as information for potential investors who want to invest their capital because because these two methods provide information that can describe the value in the company and market respect for companies in the capital market. And the second suggestion, the researchers recommends for further researchers to expand the study sample, not only observe telecommunication companies, but also other sectors listed in the Indonesia Stock Exchange and extend the observation period. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video will be useful for you. Sorry, I apologize. Sorry, I apologize for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.